Judaism is one of the oldest monotheistic religions in the world. On one hand, Judaism is not widely known due to its relatively small number of followers, and on the other hand, the secretive nature of its adherents. It is estimated that there are approximately 15 million Jews living on Earth. Let's take a fictional journey today to one of the neighborhoods of ultra-Orthodox Jews in Israel and get to know the strange customs of this mysterious sect that holds many secrets within. Before entering a Jewish home, you will surely see an object affixed to the right side column at the entrance. This small box is called mezuzah and contains a parchment made from the skin of a kosher animal with excerpts from Torah and name of God written on it with a special ink. Every believing Jew touches and kisses the mezuzah with their fingers when entering and leaving their home. If you ask a homeowner how they moved to this house, you will surely hear a firm answer. Jews wash and purify a new house before moving in according to Jewish traditions, to cleanse the house from the sins and wrongdoings of its previous owners. When it comes time to eat, you will notice that just like in Islam, Judaism also has dietary restrictions. In a Jewish household, you will not find pork meat or animals that are carnivorous. Additionally, eating shellfish such as lobster and shrimp is strictly prohibited. The permissible food for Jews are called kosher food. Just like a halal certificate in Islamic countries, Judaism also has a document called kosher certificate. Another interesting point is that if there is a lamb or beef meat on the table, you no longer have the right to consume, for example, cheese, which is made from the milk of the same animal, because consuming dairy and meat products together is strictly forbidden. In our journey to the mysterious world of Jews, you will definitely hear a prayer similar to the call to prayer for Muslims. The Jewish prayer inviting worship, which is recited every day, is called Baruch. If you pay attention to an individual Jew's worship, you will notice that their movement during worship have many similarities with the prayers of Muslims. Among them, touching a pig's feet to the ground in Jerusalem and surroundings which are considered holy lands is strictly forbidden. However, despite the prohibition, there are several pig farms in Jerusalem. The interesting point is exactly here. The pig's feet never actually touches the ground there. How so? Because all the barns are built at an elevation from the ground, and after rising and slaughtering these animals, their meat is exported to Europe and America. If you walk down the streets, you will see many young people wearing military uniforms. Every individual over 18 in Israel is required to undergo mandatory military service before starting university. Women serve for 2 years and men 3 years. The sect of Haredim, or ultra-Orthodox Jews, can be considered as the most extreme point of Judaism. While even women in Israel are required to serve in the military, Haredims are exempt from it under the guise of dedicating their lives to religion and Torah. Additionally, since performing a job may disrupt their worship practices, they do not work in any profession and spend their entire day on worship and reading the Torah, with all their living expenses covered by the government. Life for dreams, reason, and freedom are limited. From morning till night, even from birth to death, they are forced to read Torah and worship. They have almost no education in the field of science and technology. They are completely lacking in knowledge and skills that can be used in today's job market. They are considered outdated in terms of the way they dress. Ultra-Orthodox Jewish men wear a type of black coat and pants, along with a brimmed hat on their head. This is because it is not permissible for men to worship with their heads uncovered. During worship, they use a cap similar to the Muslim prayer cap called kippah. They also follow the Torah's command not to cut their hair at the temple or trim their beards, leaving a hairstyle called payot around their heads. On the other hand, their women cover themselves completely in long back robes and are almost obligated to bear children until the end of their fertile years. Boys have their hair trimmed on the top of their heads from a young age and wear a special clothing when enrolled in Haredim's religious school. Most Israeli children are exposed to very radical ideologies from a young age through the country's formal curriculum, leading to an unhealthy psychological environment. While it is believed that the ultra-Orthodox Jews are completely anti-Islam and Muslims, they believe that anyone not of their faith does not have the right to live, based on their interpretation of the Torah. Ultra-Orthodox Jews are also top critics of Israeli government policies and accuse government officials of godlessness. Television and internet have no place in their lives. Some Chinese technology companies have developed special mobile phones with highly restricted technologies for use by Haredi Jews and introduced them to the Israeli market. Allegedly, some Haredi women are forced by their husbands' wishes to wear a chador even at home and during sleep. One of the most important days for Jews is Yom Kippur, known as the Day of Atonement. Jews fast for 25 hours on Yom Kippur. This is the day that the sins against God can be forgiven. They spend the entire day in worship. They transfer their sins to a chicken on this day and sacrifice it at the end of the day, believing that this act clears their sins. They also believe that drawing a circle with charcoal around the pregnant woman's room during childbirth, hanging prayers, stone, and talismanic jewelry around her neck and different part of the room drive away evil spirits from the newborn. In Judaism, when a male infant turns 8 years old, the first traditional ceremony, which is circumcision, is performed. Additionally, a drop of wine is poured into the child's mouth during the ceremony. If a Jew hears news of someone's death, they tear apart their clothing, usually a button, immediately, because they believe this act expels devil spirit. Mourners do not take a shower for a week after returning from a funeral procession, and men do not shave their heads or beards during this time. Jews believe that their lineage traced back to the 12 sons of Jacob. Due to this lineage being passed through women, marriage between a Jewish man and a non-Jewish woman is prohibited. Those who do not adhere to this prohibition are ostracized from the community and considered outside the Jewish lineage. If a Jewish girl and boy intend to marry, they do not see each other for a week before the wedding. It is customary for the bride and groom to fast on the day before the wedding. It is worth nothing that there is no official marriage ceremony in Israel. Only a religious marriage contract exists. Although the minimum age for marriage is set at 13 for boys and 12 for girls according to Jewish laws, children from religious families usually do not marry until they reach 18. Marriage is seen as entering into God's society, with the primary purpose being to multiply and extend the Jewish lineage. In the Talmud, being single is considered as reducing the number of worshippers of God, and is therefore discouraged as it's seen as interfering with God's work. Additionally, wasting sperm is equal to murder and strictly forbidden in Haredi's beliefs. According to official statistics from the beginning of the 20th century until today, nearly 300,000 people in Israel have not been able to marry because they were not Jewish or could not prove their Jewishness. And finally, if you sit next to an ultra-Orthodox Jew on the plane, you will surely see that they spend their entire journey reciting prayers. Because they believe it is forbidden to pass over cemeteries. They also believe that by flying over cemeteries during the flight, they're committing a sin. So, they're seeking forgiveness. In recent years, an Israeli ultra-Orthodox traveler attracted global attention by carrying a plastic bag on board to protect themselves when flying over cemeteries. Thanks for staying with me till the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell. See you all in the next video. Bye!